just when it felt like the drama couldn't go any deeper. It did then, in a development no one saw coming. Remy Ma's 23-year-old son has officially been charged with murder in connection to a shocking shooting that left the Bronx community in disbelief. Court documents revealed chilling details and the name attached to those documents: Jason Scott, Remy's only son. As news broke, the hip-hop world froze. But the real shock came when Papoose finally spoke out, not with love, not with support, but with a brutal truth bomb that left fans stunned. "I'm done with her lies," according to insiders close to Pap. He'd been kept in the dark about everything: the investigation, the arrest, the legal chaos, and now he's not just walking away from Remy's drama, he's exposing it. Was Remy hiding her son's involvement? How long did she know? And why is Papoose speaking out now after months of staying silent? This isn't just a scandal. This is a family unraveling on camera, in court, and online. You thought the cheating story was wild? This is next level. Stay locked in because the truth is darker than anyone expected. The headlines hit like a punch to the chest. Remy Ma's son charged with first-degree murder. At first, fans thought it was fake. Another wild internet rumor. But within hours, official court documents confirmed the truth. Jason Scott, 23 years old, son of rap icon Remy Ma, had been taken into custody and formally charged in connection with a shooting that left one man dead in the Bronx. The incident reportedly occurred just blocks away from where Remy grew up. According to the NYPD, witnesses identified Jason fleeing the scene after a heated altercation outside a party spiraled into deadly violence. Surveillance footage, phone records, and ballistic reports all allegedly point to one conclusion: he pulled the trigger. Social media exploded. "No way, this is real. Remy must be devastated. He threw away everything. His future, his freedom, his legacy. Prayers to the victim's family." Steeper than fame. But as the internet tried to make sense of it, one man stayed quiet. The man who had stood by Remy through scandal after scandal, through betrayal, heartbreak, and public humiliation. Papoose. That silence ended within 24 hours. Papoose didn't go to the press. He didn't make a dramatic video. Instead, he posted a single story that cut deeper than any diss track. "I found out the same way y'all did. I'm done with her lies." That sentence cracked the internet in half. Because suddenly, this wasn't just about a young man charged with murder. This was about a fractured family, deception, and a loyalty that had finally reached its breaking point. Sources close to Papoose say he had no knowledge of the investigation, no clue his stepson was even being watched by authorities. And when he confronted Remy, she allegedly told him, "It's being handled. Don't get involved." That's when the trust officially shattered. According to insiders, Pap had been distancing himself from Remy ever since the Dice Flame cheating scandal. But this was different. This was life or death. And the idea that she could keep something this serious from him? It's unforgivable. One source said Pap kept her secrets. He protected her name. When he asked for the truth, she still gave him half of it. Fans started flooding comment sections trying to piece it all together. So she knew, and didn't tell Pap. They weren't even living together anymore, right? This family's falling apart in front of us. But the situation wasn't just dramatic. It was criminally serious. Reports say the shooting stemmed from a private party turned violent. The victim, a 25-year-old aspiring artist, was allegedly arguing with someone in Remy's son's circle. Over money. Things escalated. A weapon appeared, and within seconds, gunfire. The victim died at the hospital, and now Jason Scott is facing life in prison if convicted. But behind the legal chaos, the family's emotional explosion was just beginning. After Papoose's cryptic post, he unfollowed Remy again, deleted her photos, canceled an upcoming performance where he was supposed to appear alongside her, and posted one more gut-wrenching line: "Loyalty don't mean silence when the truth can bury you." Meanwhile, Remy has yet to issue a full statement. Her team put out a brief note saying Remy Ma and her family are fully cooperating with law enforcement. At this time, we ask for privacy and understanding. But fans weren't buying it. Understanding? Cue this from the man who called your son his own. This isn't just hip-hop news anymore. It's a full collapse. We stood by Remy during her prison time. But now, she owes us honesty. And that honesty, it might be coming sooner than expected. Because according to court insiders, there are phone recordings between Jason and an unnamed woman. And those conversations are now under investigation. Some are speculating that the voice on the line might be Remy herself, coaching her son on what to say, what not to say. If true, this could evolve into obstruction charges, and not just for Jason and Papoose. It's not sticking around. This time, a friend of his told a major blog, Pap's done playing protector. He gave her grace. She gave him secrets. As this case heads to court and more details begin to surface, one thing is clear. This is no longer just about headlines. It's about consequences. And for Papoose, who once represented the image of unbreakable loyalty, this may be the moment he walks away for good. The courtroom lights were cold, the media cameras were hotter, and the pressure on Remy Ma, unbearable. For the first time since her son, Jason Scott, was charged with first-degree murder. Remy was forced to speak under oath, not to the fans, not to social media, but to the state of New York. Seated in front of a panel of prosecutors and defense attorneys, Remy wore all black. Her eyes swollen, her tone flat. Gone was the battle-tested MC energy. What showed up instead was a mother under fire, facing all consequences that no rhyme could outrun. Her voice cracked as she answered. I did not advise him to hide evidence. I told him not to speak until his lawyer arrived. That's it. But prosecutors weren't convinced. They played the now infamous jailhouse call, where Jason says she's taking care of everything. And then they asked her point blank, were you involved in any financial arrangements following the incident? Remy hesitated. I moved money, yes. But not for anything illegal. Boom. The courtroom shifted. That admission alone opened the door to a deeper investigation into whether she intentionally transferred funds to conceal or protect her son's actions. And for the prosecution, that was blood in the water. Outside, the crowd of reporters swarmed. Paparazzi shouted her name as she left the courthouse with her legal team, eyes down, lips sealed. But by the time she got home, the internet already had its headlines. Remy Ma admits to moving funds in. Murder case. Prosecutors eye obstruction charges. Remy's reputation in freefall, fans divided. But even worse than the press, a silence from Papoose. He still hadn't spoken publicly. Not since his final cryptic quote. Until. Now, that same night, Papoose uploaded a 2-minute black and white video shot in a dark studio. No music, just his voice and what he said. Some people don't lie with their mouth, they lie with their silence. And when I asked for truth, I got strategy instead. The video went viral instantly. He didn't say her name once, but every word cut with precision. When you fight for someone who's hiding weapons behind your back, you realize you were never their partner. You were their cover. Thousands of fans flooded the comments. Pap been quiet too. Long. He's speaking without screaming. This man built her up for years, and this is how it ends. Remy didn't just lose a husband. She lost a legacy. Meanwhile, Dice Flame, the rapper who once stirred chaos during Remy's cheating scandal, posted a now-deleted tweet. Damn, y'all, still surprised? Fans dragged him for it, accusing him of clout chasing and kicking Remy while she was already down. But even his name showing up in the conversation again reminded people how deep the betrayal runs in. Remy's recent timeline, back at the courthouse. Prosecutors filed a motion to subpoena Remy's financial records, specifically looking into any transfers made 24 hours after the shooting. If even one payment was made to cover legal costs, disappearances, or unreported items related to the crime. She could face conspiracy or obstruction charges herself, and now her legal team is scrambling, according to insiders. Remy's attorneys have advised her to stay completely off social media, cancel all future appearances, and decline interviews. Even the ones from longtime allies like Angie Martinez and Hot 97. But the silence from Remy is costing her fast. Multiple sponsors and brands have dropped her. A major fashion collab announced last year is now on indefinite hold. Her YouTube channel hasn't posted in weeks, and fans, they're split down the middle. I feel bad for her as a mother, but law is law, Pap warned. Her, now she's in too deep. This is what happens when you protect the wrong people too long. Even Fat Joe, who had already unfollowed Remy, spoke briefly on a live stream. Love Remy, always will. But this ain't the Remy I knew. And as the chaos builds, one quiet hero keeps showing up. Papoose. A fan page leaked that Pap has been spending more time with his daughter mentoring youth at a Brooklyn community center, and writing what sources say is his most personal work to date. And then, last night, a handwritten poem surfaced from his studio. The last lines read, "She buried the truth where love couldn't reach, and left me digging through silence just to breathe." No beat, no chorus, just heartbreak on paper. Fans are already calling it his version of Lemonade, a raw, lyrical unraveling of a man who gave everything and was left with secrets and shadows. So where does it go from here? Remy Ma, awaiting the next round of hearings, could face obstruction charges pending the financial record subpoenas. Jason Scott still in custody, facing life if convicted. Papoose, completely separated, quiet, healing, and finally telling his story through art, not interviews. Public opinion divided, but leaning harder toward Pap with every twist. And the biggest question still hangs in the air. What else is Remy hiding? The courtroom was standing room only. Media swarmed the entrance. Cameramen elbowed for a view. The energy was heavy because today Remy Ma was returning under subpoena. And prosecutors had one goal: force her to explain what she did after the murder, but before she even stepped into the room. The internet had already exploded with whispers of a bombshell. Remy is going to take the fall. Inside, Remy's legal team looked tense. Her face was still. No earrings, no flair, just black slacks and a gray blazer. The image of a mother bracing for war, not as a rap queen, but as a woman watching her entire life flash in front of Worf. The prosecution went straight for the jugular. Mrs. Mackey, did you move money in an effort to help your son avoid prosecution? No, she said quietly. Did you advise your son to avoid speaking to police? I advised him to wait for his lawyer. Then came the twist. The prosecution presented a previously unreleased phone transcript from a second jailhouse call where Jason allegedly said, "She told me to get rid of the clothes. She said, don't let them see you like that." Gasps filled the courtroom. Remy didn't deny the quote. She didn't interrupt, just looked down and then said, "That was out of fear. I wasn't thinking straight." A mother. I panicked. In that moment, the courtroom realized what was happening. Remy wasn't fighting anymore. She was accepting it. Her lawyer requested a recess. Behind closed doors, whispers turned into roars. Remy Ma may be preparing to enter a plea, not to murder, but to obstruction. A charge that could carry a sentence of up to 5 years. Outside, reporters sprinted to break the story. Inside, the judge's face was unreadable. When Remy returned, she spoke with a trembling voice. "I didn't mean to interfere with justice, but I did interfere, and I'll take whatever comes with that." Boom! The internet shattered. Remy just took the charge. She's done. Papoose told y'all she kept the truth in the dark. Now she's facing time, AGAIN. This is tragic. And while all this unfolded, Papoose made one final move. But not in a courtroom, not in a tweet, not on TV. He dropped a surprise EP. Title, Exit Wounds. 5 tracks, no features. It's just raw lyricism. The intro, spoken word piece that opens with "This ain't beef, this ain't clout. This is what a soul sounds like when it lets go." Track 3, already going viral, is called "Gone Before the Gavel." Lyrics include "You told me forever and whispered goodnight while hiding a blade in the softest light. I fought for your son like he was my own, and you watched me bleed." Knowing I was alone, fans called it a masterpiece. This is heartbreak turned into healing. Pap is unloading years of pain with poetry. He didn't need to diss her. This hit harder than anything Dice ever said. Meanwhile, Remy returned home under heavy scrutiny, media at her gates, legal pressure mounting, public trust eroded. Yet somehow, she looked calmer, because, according to a source close to her legal team, she's made peace with what's coming. "If I have to go back, I'll go back. But this time, I'm going in with my eyes open." She's now facing formal obstruction charges with sentencing to be announced in 3 weeks. No word on whether a plea deal is locked, but the DA's office has confirmed negotiations are underway, and as Remy braces for the verdict, one thing is clear: Papoose isn't coming back. In an IG Live with longtime friend and poet Prentice, Powell Pap said, "Sometimes you don't lose people. You realize they were never holding your hand, they were holding your silence." And that line is now being shared across the world as the final chapter in this love story turned legal. Nightmare. And that's the end of a legacy. The end of loyalty. The end of silence. From courtrooms to confessionals, from whispered jailhouse calls to headline-breaking betrayals. We've watched the entire Remy Ma and Papoose empire fall apart, not just in public, but in real time. A son charged with murder, a mother facing obstruction, a husband who stood tall for years, only to be left holding lies instead of love. Papoose didn't walk away bitter. He walked away better. And Remy Ma, she may have finally spoken her truth. But is it too late? This wasn't just a scandal. It was a slow collapse of everything we thought was unshakable. And now we want to hear from you. Did Remy go too far? Was Papoose right to walk away? Or should he have stood beside her one more time? What happens to Jason now that the world is watching? Drop your thoughts, your theories, and your emotions in the comments below. This story isn't just trending, it's transforming lives. If you stayed with us through the heartbreak and the heat, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter of Real Raw. An unfiltered celebrity drama, because in this game of loyalty, secrets, and legacy, the crown isn't given, it's earned. We'll see you in the next one.